Island, what's good? It's your girl Francine. Today is Monday, it's Music Monday, and today we are doing the top 100s. So I tried this before a couple months ago. I did What's Going On by Marvin Gaye, and I decided I was going to go in order. The lists of them are up here. I'll do a more like close-up picture when I'll edit that in. I just wanted to dress this. This is so cute. Oh my god, my best friend bought me this, so I have to shout her out. Okay, girl, what's up, girl? Thank you so much. It's cute. Look, subscribe. Okay, anyway, so for today, for top 100s, we are doing an album that's totally different from the first one. So like I said, I did What's Going On by Marvin Gaye, and that album was very, it had imagery, it had symbolism, it had, you know, the ideas of being a black man in the 70s, right after the Vietnam War, dealing with, you know, everything going on with police brutality, and the environment is in that one, as well as dealing with, you know, just what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on, what's really happening in our communities as a whole. And I love that album because it speaks to what was going on in the times. It's kind of like a timestamp of what the whole, mostly black people in the United States were dealing with at that time. This album is totally different. And that's the reason why I wanted to do top 100s and not just do hip hop album reviews every single week, because I like doing different things. I'm into different kinds of music. I love everything, so I'm not really picky or particular when it comes to the kind of music I listen to. And this album is a prime example of a completely different album than I usually listen to that I actually kind of like, and that is Leonard Cohen's album, Songs of Leonard Cohen from 1967. This album is written by Leonard Cohen, and it's in doing research for this album, because I do research for these top 100 albums, I found out that Leonard Cohen was a poet before he was a artist, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all can correct me in the comments if y'all are a huge fan, which makes a lot of sense given how this album sounds and just the lyricism of this album. As a poet myself, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I do Spoken Word Wednesday every Wednesday. We're starting that back up. So as a poet myself, I really appreciate the imagery and the symbolism and the allegory and all the really good things you learn in English that are throughout this album. And three songs in particular, which are my favorite songs on the album, are very deep in a way that you kind of have to interpret them. They're not cut and dry what they are. You kind of have to figure out what's going on there. And I really enjoyed this album. So without further ado, let's get into my review of Leonard Cohen's album, Songs of Leonard Cohen. Okay, so this album starts off with a song called Suzanne, which is apparently one of his most popular works. I did, you know, we used to go on Spotify, you see top 5 songs by the person that's looked up. This is number like 3. And I also found out that he's the original person who did Hallelujah, which has been redone so many times, but it's a beautiful song. Just wanted to put that in there as well. But Suzanne is actually about a person named Suzanne. It's about a woman named Suzanne Verdell. Hope I'm saying that right. Who they apparently had a platonic relationship, but if you hear this song, I don't know if he wanted to have a platonic relationship. I mean, she said they had a platonic relationship, and since I believe you, like, I'm not saying you didn't. I'm just saying, I don't know if he was in agreement with this relationship boundaries, okay? Because this song, it kind of sounds like he's smitten with old girl, okay? Apparently they were friends. When he would visit Montreal, he would see her, and she lived by the beach, and, you know, they would sip tea together. And throughout the song, you would hear like little instances that they would do together. He talks about tea and oranges from China, as well as, you know, they were a church where sailors were blessed before they would go out to sea, and he would talk about how Jesus was a sailor who walked on water and blessed the men who were also sailors. And it's very, again, symbolism, different, you know, and making things be about what they're like. Look, I'm good at writing, but I'm not good at like articulating. I can never be an English teacher, okay? No, okay, I had a great English teacher when I was younger, and I'm sorry if you see it is, but like, I don't remember all of this stuff and things, but I can write though. I'm so sorry. I'm just coming back from like a 2 weeks off, and I'm a little rusty. Anyway, this song is very beautiful. It's a nice song. And like I said, it sounds like he want more than just a friendship with old girl. Okay, if you listen to the lyrics, you know what I'm talking about. The next song is one of the 3 songs that I mentioned that is about something that is not, right? And it's called The Master Song. And the master song is talking about a person who is a prisoner, right? And he's talking to who we assume is a woman, because I think he does say, you know, use characteristics of her being a woman, who is in a relationship with the master. And he's just a prisoner in this cell, and the master tells her what he has in his head. And I was looking up this song meanings for this song in particular, because the other two songs that are symbolic, I kind of came to my own meaning, but this one was a little hard because you can tell that there is a love from the prisoner to the woman, as well as, you know, being upset that the woman is in love with the master, right? But there's also this understanding that possibly they're the same person, because it talks about how the master's telling her everything that's inside of his head, and it's like, well, how does he know what's in your head? As well as the fact that in different lyrics in the album, I mean the song, he talks about how he taught the master everything he knows, and, you know, I was the first one to give him the understanding of how to love you, right? And you would think, you know, the idea that maybe he is the prisoner who is kind of, what I read online was that it's kind of like some Fight Club type stuff. Have you ever seen Fight Club, where Tyler Durden and the narrator are the same person? Spoiler alert. But Tyler Durden is the fun, like, cool person of the narrator, who is kind of like quiet and reserved. And it seems like that's kind of the interpretation a lot of people get, is that, like, the prisoner is this reserved, very emotional side of him, and the master is the one that takes control when it comes to love and giving to women, and you know, being with women is the fun guy, right? And a lot of people were saying, when I was looking up about Leonard Cohen, that Leonard Cohen was a ladies' man, but he also was very emotional and very reserved in his own way as well. And I think maybe that was his way of being like, when I'm out playing with the ladies, that's me, but deep inside I really love you though, like, you know what I mean? And you can kind of get that from this album, because for most of this album, most of the songs are about women, and even like in a sexual way. Like I said, the first one, I feel like he liked old girl more than she liked him, okay? But it seems like he talks about women in a respectable way, even when he's talking about them in a sexual way, which I can appreciate. So maybe that's kind of the two, is like, I want to be fun and sexual and like these women, but also deep down inside I'm a prisoner. The emotional side of me is a prisoner in this bigger person, right? I may be overthinking it, but that's what I got from the song and from what other people wrote online. So the next song on this album is The Winter Lady, and this song is obviously about a lady of the night. It's a very obvious lyrics. The first lyrics of the song goes, "Follows traveling lady, stay a while until the night is over. I'm just a station on your way. I know I'm not your lover." I mean, obviously, but again, there is no idea, you know, he's not portraying this woman as like disgusting or bad. It's just like, hey, stay at night. Like, I let you have your autonomy. You can do whatever you want. I just, you know, need a warm body tonight. Come on, winter lady, let's go. And I can appreciate that. And that was a pretty straightforward, cut and dry song. It wasn't very showered in symbolism, unlike the next song, which I gotta admit is my favorite song on the album. And that is A Stranger Song. Now, again, I said this song and one of the final songs on this album, I had to interpret myself, because again, symbolism. We're making things sound like what they aren't, right? So this Stranger Song is talking about a woman who allows men to come into her shelter who are dealers, like card dealers. Because when I heard dealers, I was like, card dealers, okay? Because he talks about poker and stuff like that. So these men are dealing their hands, and this woman lets them into their shelter. And I interpret this as being like the fuckboy song. Of like, this woman consistently keeps allowing men to come into her life who aren't treating her very well, who let me read some of the lyrics. So he talks about how they put their cards out there, essentially saying, you know, they're showing you that they want to be with you, and you're giving them your shelter, giving them your love. And then he says, but they're reaching for the sky just to surrender, meaning, you know, you can see what they can get, pretty much. They're like, oh yeah, I'm here, I'm with you, and it's like, oh, well, they're just doing that to show you that, you know, they want what you can give them. And then in one of the next verses, he talks about how he was looking for a card that was high and wild. and he would just leave you with whatever he gave you, and essentially, again, looking for what he can get and then just leaving with whatever he gave you, and you don't, I think he said you're stuck with nothing, not even laughter. Like, damn, like you have nothing to show for this relationship. You have nothing to show for all the effort you put into this relationship. And continuously throughout this song, he talks about how the men are giving their cards and then taking them back, and you're kind of stuck with nothing. And one of my favorite verses on this song is when he says, it seems like he's settled down and is giving up the game, but there's still a highway above his shoulder, i.e. it seems like he's settling down. It seems like he's, you know, want to be with you, and then there's still something behind him. It's like, oh, but there's still a chance of something else. And he talks about how, you know, you think everything's fine, and then you realize your doors are open and you can't close them, i.e. you know, you think this relationship is going well, but he has a whole nother option, and you can't close that option because he's going to keep going back to where he wants to go to. And it is a very interesting song, mainly because it talks about trains and cards and dealers and shelter, but essentially it's implying how people can use you, and I'll say men, it's not always men, but people can use you and show you their cards, i.e. make it seem like they're giving you something, but really they're taking them back, and they leave you with nothing, not even laughter. And they have these outs to get out, and it's just very hard to determine someone's true colors and what they really want from you. And that's what this song is about. So the next song is called Sisters of Mercy, and apparently in an interview, Leonard Cohen said that this song was about two women who he met and let into his hotel room because it was apparently snowing outside. He let them sleep in his hotel. He stayed up the whole night and wrote this song, and when they woke up, he played it for them. That's what he said, okay? I don't know how common that is. You just let somebody stay in your hotel and then you're like, oh look, I wrote a song for you. And you just play them a song and it's like, oh my God. But he said there was no way, shape, or form about sex. He didn't have any intercourse with these women. But the song is very pretty. It's a very nice song. It's about, if you read the lyrics, it seems like it's about women who, again, have the autonomy of themselves. You got to recognize that they can do whatever they want. They're not tied down to you. They are sisters of mercy. It's cute. It's a good little song. So the next song is So Long, Marianne. I listened to this song like 5 times. I still don't know how to say that lady's name. I'm so sorry. So long, Marianne. Girl, you weren't even close. This is another one. It's about a real person. And this is a complicated story, okay? So when I was trying to do research on this song and a bit about this relationship, it is apparently old girl was married to another man in Greece, or like a Greece island or something off of the shores of Greece, right? And when Cohen comes to this island, her husband had just left her for another woman, and he comes and has a relationship with her. She has a young son. She takes them both in. He takes them both in, and they move to Norway. They moved to Norway together, and they also moved to Canada together, and they're with each other throughout the whole 1960s. And they eventually break up, which is what this song is about, right? It's about leaving Marianne. Girl, you need to know how to say this lady's name. Anyway, it's about him leaving her and it being a hard time to leave her, but knowing that, you know, when they're separated from each other, you know, there'll still be love there, it's still love for her, right? The funny thing is, Leonard Cohen, one thing I did not mention, he passed away in 2016, and so did Miss Marianne, and I've said her name at least 4 times in a different way. And none of them are right. You've not said it one time right. Oh my God. Anyway, she passed away as well before he did. He wrote her a letter saying, you know, I'll see you soon, right? And it kind of seems like that was his love, right? Like, yeah, he was a ladies' man, but he loved that girl, okay? And it's a very deep song. I like this song. And it's, again, very straightforward about what it's about. So the next song is called Hey, That's No Way to Say Goodbye. This song is essentially a breakup song. Like, it's a good breakup song. It's like, hey, we gotta break up, but I still love you. Don't cry, girl, because that's not a way to say goodbye. I love you. But we gotta break up. And don't cry, though. Don't cry. Which is, it's a cute song. I like this song. It's a good little breakup song. If you want to be like, look, this isn't working out. I love you, but it's not working out, but don't cry, because that's not the way to say goodbye. Play this song. Next song is Stories of the Streets. This song is apparently about Cuba during the revolution when Leonard Cohen went to visit Cuba. He wrote this song. I wasn't a huge fan of this song, I'm not gonna lie. It's a nice song, but it wasn't really for me. And then the next song is another favorite of mine, another one of these songs you have to kind of interpret, right? And this song is called Teachers. This song is very deep, and I may have put my own self into this meaning or my thoughts about the meaning of this song, but I thought the song was about depression. And I'll tell you why. The beginning of the song is 2 verses where he asks a brown-haired woman and a blonde woman, are you the teachers of love, right? I think that's what he says. If it's not, I'll put the lyrics up here. And they both say no, right? And then the first one says no, and the second one says no, yes, but not for you, right? And it's like, okay. So then the next verse, he goes into how he finds a man who's lost his mind, who told him to follow him, but then comes behind him, i.e. like he doesn't know how to get there either. Like nobody can really lead you to happiness. This is what I'm gathering. No one can teach you happiness. No one can lead you to happiness. He says he goes to a hospital where no one is sick and no one is well. Like a mental hospital, right? Like people don't think mentally ill people are sick, but obviously they're not well. And he talks about how he has a scalpel blade next to his silver spoon, i.e. you somehow have depression even though you have like the world handed to you, the silver spoon, right? And in continuing to talk about how he deals with this, and continuously throughout the song he tries to say how he's been, no matter what he does, he embraces women, men, singing, nothing he does is right? And then he asks the teachers, he finds out who the teachers are. He asks the teachers, what can I do, and is it done? Is the pain over? Essentially, they laugh and they mock him, essentially saying, and this may sound kind of dark, but trying to find the cure for your depression isn't possible, right? There is no cure. And when you ask the teachers, you can think of it as God or as the universe. If you're asking the people who are supposed to be guiding your life, is the pain over? Am I going to be okay? The mocking essentially is that's not the right question. You should be asking. It's the depression, the happiness. You can't find that in anything else. You got to find it in yourself. Again, I made this interpretation up myself. If you listen to the song, you let me know if you agree or not. And then the last song on the album is One of Us Cannot Be Wrong. Now, again, I researched this song. This song is apparently about Nico from the Velvet Underground, who they're also on this list, and I love their album, so I will be doing that one soon. And he apparently, Leonard Cohen was smitten with old girl. Smitten! And they used to call her the Ice Queen. And she just would not let no man in, okay? And so the song essentially talks about how this person is trying to figure out how to get this girl, okay? Trying to figure out how to get the love of this girl. And everyone's telling him, like he asked one guy, how do I date her? And he's like, he goes crazy. It's about a doctor who's practice, and then he talks about an Eskimo who freezes, and it's essentially how all these men are spent with this woman. They're trying to get the attention of this woman, and she is just killing all of them, okay? Because none of us can be wrong. Obviously we're all in love with her. Not all of us can be wrong, or one of us cannot be wrong. That's what it's called. Girl, find a name. And he's like, look, one of us cannot be wrong. We all are smitten by this woman, and it's killing us. Which is cute. It's a cute little song, and I like this song as well. And that's the whole album. Like I said, this is different than what's going on, and the point of me doing the top 100s was to see if the song or the album, the movie, because I also do top 100 movies, should be in the top 100. And for this one, I say yes. I think it is a good song, very well put together in comparison to the other songs on this list, which I looked at, but I haven't listened to all of them. I feel like it has its place. And maybe when I get down the list a little bit more, I might kind of compare them a little bit, because this one is nothing like what's going on. I think what's going on is definitely still a number 1, but this is definitely a good album. With that being said, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, send them in the comment section below. And if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe, okay? I put up new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and at least for this month, it will be every day, every week, because I'm pre-recording all of my videos, so there is no excuses. And with that being said, I will see you guys on Wednesday. Bye.